Hello, and welcome to Scarlet Serpent Readings. Thank you for joining me for today's Timeless Pick a Card reading, where we will be looking at your EDM theme song. So EDM stands for electronic dance music, and so all these songs are within that genre. Most of these are actually trance, so it's like trance, deep house, that sort of thing. These are all that sort of songs, and although you might not necessarily like the genre or the song that you chose, it is in some way a representation of your energy, so that's why it's your theme song. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to, I'll say I don't want to put this person out there, but they sent me this deck, and it was a beautiful surprise, and I'm very grateful. And I mentioned this in one of the readings, but I did make a super mini reading for you. Just send me an email so I could send it to you if you're interested in that. But otherwise, these are all of the songs. We have 12 songs for this pick a card, and I'm going to have a playlist, and I'll say this for each pile, but I'm going to have a playlist where you could see all the songs. I'll let you know which song you have, so you can go look for it in that playlist and then go ahead and give it a listen. And I recommend listening to it more than once, so one time all the way through, because there's a lot of build up and these songs can be a bit long. They have different parts to it, and a lot of these also have to do with breaking up and love and stuff like that, but it's really also just the rhythm and the overall feel of the song. So it might not necessarily be the lyrics that you resonate with, but just that momentum that you get from EDM. So these are all the piles. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is going to be a fairly short reading, so about 5 to 7 minutes for each pile. Of course, choose your pile intuitively. And I think that's everything. Thank you for your support, and I hope you enjoy this reading. I'll meet you at your pile. See ya. Hi, pile 1. If you chose this card, your song is Come Together. So go ahead and find it in the playlist and give it a listen. And this is your card. Star Gathering, Stars Aligned, Remembering Home, and Star Family. So it's interesting because I put the songs first and then I choose the cards, so I didn't deliberately put this, but it does say Star Gathering, which is like a coming together, I guess. The song features Alan Watts, and it's kind of how to meditate. So maybe that's part of what you've been doing. Part of it's like you may not necessarily know that you're drawing these energies in, like a calling to fellow star beings, but. And there's the lake in the background, purple, so lots of wisdom through really meditation, through listening at a distance. I was just going to pull it up, the lyrics real quick, because, the lyrics are just, actually I can't do that right now. I'll do it for the next one, but, no. Okay. Well, anyway, it was from a lecture that Alan Watts did about how to meditate. Just listen to the sounds. Everything is a happening. And I think you're just allowing yourself to tap in. It's a very relaxing song. Again, with the purple, again with the stars, you're just allowing, I think that's your energy, is kind of calling upon people who are aligned to you, but in a natural way. There's not a lot of force here. So this is definitely a relaxed energy. That's really where you're at. But let's get some tarot just to kind of dive a little deeper as to why this is your theme song. Justice, which is a balancing. I think that's part of it as well. This song is kind of reminding you to just breathe, reminding you, while you do have your desires to connect with like-minded people, it's coming to you. It's coming to you just based on the work you've put into yourself. It's coming to you because of your karma. It's coming, come together. I didn't even, sorry. I don't notice the things I say, but it's on its way. This gathering, this soul family, remembering home. And that happens through just expecting, but just observing. There's not too much effort here, and there's not a lot of motion either. The moon. Definitely a receptive energy here. This feels less like shadow, A lot of times it's that sort of card, but here it just feels like at night when it's quiet, just like this. This is night, when everything's asleep and you're just being patient and listening to silence and your own movement that's within you. We have 2 more cards here, 7 of Swords and 10 of Swords. This is the ending here with the sun, so it's a nice contrast to the moon, definitely. Ending, and then there's the mouth as well. So it's hard to hear the sounds around you when you're talking, when possibly people around who have been, in a way, influencing your perception of sound and expectation. 7 of Swords is kind of telling me this. But I think you're at a place of contemplation and allowing, and very relaxed energy. This is a very relaxing pile. It's very receptive, and you'll get what's coming. You know that that's something that is part of your experience, is connecting with people who are truly like you, and it's a very lovely energy. But yeah, it's a bit of waiting, and it's not like being impatient. It's waiting as you just breathe, as you just listen, as you just be, very receptive, very, again, wise as well, with all this purple crown chakra energy. That crown chakra is shining a light to the stars, to your soul family. They're on their way. So yeah, I wanted to keep this very short. Of course, you can pick multiple piles, but I hope you enjoyed this reading. Let me know, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Hi, pile 2. If you chose this card, this is going to be your reading. What is your EDM theme song? And you could find, again, the theme song in the YouTube playlist with all the songs in here. And the song that you will be listening to, that your theme song is Peace of Mind. This is by Above and Beyond. So I'll leave that there. And actually, I'll just talk about the song first. It's an upbeat song, fairly deep. It's some of the lyrics are, I lost all my riches, the diamonds in the mind. It turns out that this was the best thing to ever happen to me. Errors and glitches, what a way to find that such hurt could bring you greater peace of mind. So really, with the diamond, again, in the mind, that through hardship, that's where you find mental clarity, where you find kind of your inner light and trust in the universe. Especially with the chorus, it says, if you've ever lost every part of yourself, if you've left your heart on a lonely avenue, it'll only be a matter of time before life comes through for you. Kind of that knowing, that peace of mind, yeah. It's like trusting in everything that happens and being kind of the center, being centered within yourself. And a very uplifting song, but it is, definitely still a dance song. The card you chose is Venusian Galactic Council. Star and being guides, answer the call, time to shine. I think a lot of this peace of mind, brings about, again, clarity. It also makes room for your heart to really be the center stage, because it's easy to get kind of tossed around by the things that happen in your life, and that could be something you've gone through or you're going through, or just part of your overall energy is through your hardships. That's kind of where your strength comes from. That's where your clarity and light comes from. The light is something that arises after the darkness. Yeah, just look at this contrast between these two cards, that you've gone through that, and that's actually where your compassion comes from. That's where Venusian Galactic Council, very loving light, and that's what you are. That's what you're shining, or what you're stepping into. If depending on where you are, this is still a general reading. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Why is this your theme song? You also notice, if you look closely, okay, this is shaped like a diamond on top of the head. You can see that, yeah? I choose the songs first and then draw the cards, so this is not me deliberately matching anything. Justice. But there is this balance, to your hardships. It's only a matter of time before life comes through for you. So this is knowing that, whether it's just something you've gone through, or you might also be a light to others who are going through something similar, whatever version of that is. 10 of Wands, Look, the scales here, this is the 10 out of balance, and balancing itself comes fairly naturally. It's only a matter of time. That might be an energy you're in now, so this is kind of a song to remind you that balance is on its way. It's part of who you are, is balance, and it's tapping back into that. The moon in Sagittarius here, 7 of Swords. And the moon. I am shuffling these in case you saw one of the other piles. Well, the only other pile. Let's get a clarifying card for these two. The 5 of Wands. And that's that battle, really. The diamonds in the mind. It's kind of like that good things are kind of shaped through your experience. That there is a purpose through the hardships, but it doesn't make it less comfortable, like in that moment. I think that's why the music is interesting, because it's still upbeat, it's still uplifting, but it's acknowledging also the path towards this light, and that end of the journey is worth it. And so again, either you've gone through it, or you're actually in that point of shining, that you're at that point of clarity, but it's also allowing you to open your heart and connect to those who are still going through this, and managing that however best is appropriate to them. And Queen of Pentacles is kind of like that grounding energy too, especially with the moon. Very receptive, again, with the Queen. So but there's comfort in oneself, in who you are, and what your purpose is on this planet. And that purpose was partially shaped by your experience. So it's very vibrant, very bright, and people might not even know how much you've gone through to get to where you are, to the type of person that you are, the loving being, filled with wisdom, and again, a very clear mind. They don't know what's behind that, but it is there, and it's part of your story to share with others. So hopefully you enjoy this. You could always choose, another pile. Let me know in the comments, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. And thank you for watching. Hope to see you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, Pile 3. If you chose this card, this is going to be your reading. What is your EDM theme song? You could find the playlist for all of these cards in the description, and probably I might leave it in the comments too. I don't know yet, but go ahead and listen to this song, Bipolar by Matt Zoe. So you could find that again in the playlist. So if you chose this song, first of all, this song doesn't have any lyrics, so it's just, as the name suggests, it's almost like two separate songs put together. The first part is more dance, more upbeat. Actually, yeah, he's the guy saying, "Can you dance?" Ask yourself, "Can you dance?" And then it transitions into, just saw 11:11, into more of a trance song, where actually it's one of my favorite sounds in this genre, where it's the beats change to a more swing beat, so it's like instead of 1 and 2 and, it's like 1 and 2 and it just feels very different. Well, of course it's a contrast, but it kind of reminds me of the hustle and bustle of everyday life, which can be fun and exhilarating and exciting, and it's part of the dance of life, really. But then there's also this side of you that is, of course, spiritual. It's like the moon and sun, but it's easy and it's connected to self, so it's almost like a gathering of others versus your own individuality. And it's almost like if you were to be, I live in, South Florida. Wynwood is very popular. It's like an art district in the heart of Miami, and there's a lot of art and there's a lot of diversity and a lot of food, and it's beautiful in its own right. And that kind of reminds me of the first part of the song. The second part is if you were to leave, like take the car and leave, and then you find yourself at night on a highway alone. I guess it's late, maybe 3 a.m. You're the only one on the road. You have a convertible, the top goes down, and you look at the stars and the moon, and it's a very different feeling. And you're kind of acknowledging there's this, your essence has both of those things, and you're able to navigate both of those lifestyles with ease. Let's look at this card real quick. I am presence, light body activation, accessing the divine within. I think part of this is the diversity of the divine, like that light, the universe has so many different shapes and forms, and I think it's part of your energy to recognize the light in everything, starting with yourself. Even the shadow has within it light, or at least light surrounds the shadow. I think of a black hole, it's the darkest thing, I guess, and even that sometimes has a ring of light around it as the stars as the black hole goes in front of other sun stars. But this is a recognition of that light, and I think you're embodying that at this point, which is very powerful. Sorry, it's kind of windy here, so let's get a little more information. Why is this song your theme song currently? 8 of Pentacles. That ties nicely to the work part of the song, the dancing. So I guess that would be a confirmation of that there's, this time for putting an effort in, putting in work to survive in the mundane world. Then we have the Death card. That presents that transition, and it really ties nicely to this light, that there's this other side that you're either tapped into or are tapping into. There's that recognition of maybe an easier way of living, a more flowing type, a more trance-like way of going about living that doesn't maybe need that much effort. King of Pentacles, look at that. So from 8, the working person, to the King of Pentacles, who already has wealth within him or her or their self. That's the light, accessing the divine within. There's less of an effort in the external world in just getting by, and more of living as your divine self. And that's your energy right now. And we have the Ace of Swords, which is, this really creates a new opportunity, a new way of perception. This is a shift from only experiencing physicality and, as you could say, like the dancing part, and transitioning into, and you can always go back, because the next part of the song goes back to that dance scene. But as you go back to the working world, the hustle and bustle of the city, you have a brand new perception, and you could see the light in all things. It transcends the movement and the noise of maybe people, the environment around you. So very powerful. It's a cool song. Have it a go, especially while you're driving at night. I highly suggest. Yeah, I'm sure you like it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this quick reading. Please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, pile 4. If you chose this card, this is going to be your EDM theme song. And again, you could find that in the description box. There's going to be a playlist. It's going to, I think, be titled EDM theme song. What is your EDM theme song? You've chosen There's Only You by Above and Beyond. So go ahead and check that out. Give it a first listen. And it's an upbeat song, but it's very deep as well, like philosophical. So the lyrics, yeah. In the stillness of an empty room, in the face of every settled moon, in everything that comes apart, you rise and fall in my heart. And it's really a recognition of yourself in everything. On every holiday, in every single doorway, there's you. And it goes on to say, there's you, there's only you, and it repeats that. So I think you're in a point right now, that's the energy you're in, of recognizing yourself in all things, and it's upbeat. It's not, it's not dramatic. It's happy, and I think that recognition is happiness, and it kind of shines that light. You are the light that shines upon the shadow of unconsciousness that some people might be living in, kind of sleepwalking. Let's dive into the card. We have Pleiadian activation, coming together, harmony in the heavens, resolution. You might have chosen another pile. A lot of these connect, actually. Harmony in the heavens is easier to come by when you're dealing with people who are difficult, situations that are difficult, when you could see yourself in them and you could treat those people with compassion, and that compassion starts with yourself. And that's kind of this energy that's around you right now. How could you be more compassionate to yourself? How can you recognize your own light? It's part of the wisdom of the Pleiadians too, and creating that harmony, seeing yourself as two things, part of the stars that make up this constellation, this design, really. You're one of those stars, and you're all of them at the same time. That duality. The number 4 too is feeling at home with all things. Let's grab a few tarot cards to get some clarification as to why you chose this song. Oh, he's in reverse. Yeah. 6 of Swords. Definitely a movement towards coming together. I think as your perception is changing, has changed, or you'll just notice opportunities opening up, that you'll naturally be drawn to move in different ways, with Mercury as well kind of showing up. It's an expression of that through your experience, I think, through the people, coming together, that you stumble upon that have this same philosophy. It's very wise philosophy. And if you could both or not just both, with the number 4, it's more than 2 people. It's like a community that's being built, that you're drawing through this understanding that you're stepping into. 4 of Cups. And that could have been, it might be something that's in front of you right now, with the eye being crossed over, the inability to see it, but it is there. And I think through that light of that wisdom again, that even through situations, through people that you might not necessarily get along with, or lifestyles, or just the situation you're in, you might not call it an ideal one, but even in that, it's a reflection of who you are currently, and that can change. There's movement, there's room to shine brighter and move. The view of the stars changes as the earth turns, and even depending on the time of year, it'll shift a little bit as well. We have the 10 of Pentacles. There's a strong sense of movement. Usually the 10 of Pentacles is like stability and something you can share with others with the Sun here. So there is a coming together and a light that shines in a community that is built off of the strength of each and every person's personal understanding. And I don't know, there's a lot of hope and a lot of bright things that are coming, if they're not already there. We have the Knight of Cups as well. Pretty decent balance of the energy. The cups, of course, would tie to Pleiades. But you're moving forward. You're moving forward, and moving forward with wisdom that you've acquired. Maybe through meditating at the stars, and that it's a light that guides you and shines through, regardless of where you're at now or where you'll go. There's that confidence in knowing and understanding that it's only you, as the song suggests. And that beat is kind of that rhythm of every moment passing by. High Pile 5, if you chose this card, this is going to be your EDM theme song. You could find the playlist for all of the theme songs in this reading in the description box below. The song that you'll be looking for is Hide You. Hide You is a remix by Tin Liquor, which is a trance artist. The song itself is very uplifting. It is a bit of a slow start, but it certainly builds up to something that feels very empowering, kind of like going to the top of a mountain and finally reaching that view that's puts everything into perspective. The lyrics, I'm not going to read the lyrics here, but they describe really someone who comforts you, someone who, as the song suggests, of course, hides you from danger, from your fears and your insecurities, your worries about everything, really, like a lover would. But what's interesting about this card is that it actually ties to, let me show you, actually. Yeah, so this is actually the Earth Star activation. It's connected directly to Mother Gaia, and I think it's a nice twist when listening to this song, how it applies to you, how it connects to you, and why it's your energy. You have a very strong connection to Earth, and that's the protection that you give to others as well. I think part of the reason why it's your theme song is that people find comfort in you, they find a home in you, and you find that home on planet Earth. And I think in a lot of ways, part of your journey has had to do with feeling at home on this planet, feeling at home, finding a home within yourself, and within being grounded, because there might have been times where you felt like an alien on this planet, and there's kind of that whisper of comfort, and also just being empowered by knowing that you have the support of a full planet where you could feel truly safe. And again, I'm kind of re-emphasizing that energy that comes with being fully grounded, fully protected, and empowered by your own presence. So let's look at the tarot real quick. We have the Nine of Pentacles here. So that ties together quite nicely with that grounding energy, being secure within the self. We even see the same shape of the star being shown there. That's a star that, you exude, that you bring forth, that you shine. And we can even see the star in the Merkaba atop the head there. And that just reflects there's that above and below sort of mindset of that connection you have, that sense of security you have, is brought forth and manifest in everyday life, and other people feel it. They could feel that comfort. So the next card we have is the Four of Wands, and again, this is really a card of the home. It's Aries, Venus and Aries, and you get that sense of pride as well, that you've found your place and you can create structure. So we have the Ten of Wands, which it does show a lot of effort, kind of overworking. I might want to clarify this card, but this is showing how at times you might have put forth too much energy in nurturing others, that could be burdensome, and really it's almost as if the song itself, your spirit team, has been reminding you to ground yourself, and that there are, of course, spirit guides and ancestors who want to take care of you, and that you deserve that. That's we also have the Nine of Wands, so that exhaustion there with the sun in the moon in Sagittarius. Because this card fell on the floor, I would say that it's a pretty strong message that at times you've overworked, again, at times you're a very nurturing soul. That's really what the song sounds like, what the cards are saying, that sense of comfort. But more so than that, it's kind of a feeling of finally reaching someone who understands you. And that, what I mean by that is what other people perceive your energy to be, because this is your theme song. It's kind of like the energy that you give off is, oh, finally, I'm in a place of comfort, and it's truly invigorating to reach the top of a mountain. But yeah, I'm going to wrap this up here. Hopefully you enjoyed this reading. Please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know how I did. High Pile 6, if you chose this card here, this is going to be your reading. And really, your EDM theme song. You could find this theme song in the playlist. I have the playlist for this reading there, and the song you'll be looking for is Break. Definitely a trance song. Calm. The lyrics are moving quite a bit, and as you listen, maybe more than once, it's like the movement is relaxing, but at the same time, the lyrics say, I feel like I'm falling, but I'm standing still. I can't find anything to say, wishing it would go away. I feel like I'm calling, but my body is still. I can't seem to find my way out of this endless maze. So it might be feeling like you're moving a lot. Like you're doing what you feel you need to be doing, but you're not getting where you want to go. Like it's a bit much. And like this card, just based on the imagery, is like you're searching for this home, this place where you could just relax and be for a while. Driving too fast down this road, needing to brake. But there's also this gold here, so let's take a look at that. What card is this? Shambhala Initiations. Retreating to recharge. Wow. Trusting in the process. Dharma. Trusting in the process, that this way that you're feeling is part of it. It's like bringing to light that need to take time for yourself. Like the card suggests, slow down. So that might be your energy. It's interesting though, because the song itself, the melody, the rhythm is very soothing. And even in your movement, if you have to, you have a lot of responsibilities, you could find peace in doing those things more consciously. And also prioritizing, of course, the need to take time for yourself, incorporate that into your schedule. But there is wisdom in your experience, and as you step into that, you'll also bring that to others who are along the same path of moving constantly and doing a lot and being busy, and it could be overwhelming. There's a Black Sabbath song, I forgot what it was. I think it was Hammed of Doom. It was like, I don't know. It's just like you're moving too fast. Like everything's going too fast, and you feel like you can't stop. Just know that it's part of the process, like this card suggests again. It's part of getting you to where you want to be. As far as an emotional, mental, energetic state, that you have access to it. You can break. That's a choice that you make, and it's a loving choice with the number 6. A heart-centered choice for yourself. Do for you now. Let's see what the cards have to say. The world. Ending that cycle. That's what you're doing right now. The cycle of constant movement. Ace of Cups. And that's something that the dove is flying. It opens you up to new love. Love is very present in this reading too. And it's like, as you pause, you'll get to appreciate yourself, appreciate who you are, and appreciate the stillness and silence, the contrast to all this movement, to all this doing and responsibility again. You find home in your heart, really. And it's relaxing, It's a new way of moving. Ace of Pentacles. There's lots of new energy here. The break is the new energy. It's the shift. With opportunities. Ace of Cups and Ace of Pentacles. But I think you have to... Well, I don't like saying you have to in any reading, ever. I just don't like being told I need to do, have to do anything. I'm stubborn. But anyway, it's suggested that you pause. I think that's when the opportunities will reveal themselves to you. It's like you're searching the mountains. You're on the trail, you don't know where... since some trails don't really have like a destination. I mean, they certainly end, but there's not like a view. It's like the whole trail is the view, and as you pause and breathe a little, you'll see that the journey is the break, is where you need to go. And I think that'll also, there's probably like a karmic cycle here too, of ancestral cycle, maybe something, sorry, something within the family that's been, maybe you're being influenced to have to continue moving and doing all this stuff, and once you end that, once you value your inner home and the pauses, I think doors will open up very quickly. Things that are more aligned to what you really want to do. I think there's this desire to take it easy, to just go to a lake, go fishing, and that's it. That's your whole day. You don't have to do a bunch of other stuff. So take that time for yourself. I think you'll find surprisingly opportunities coming to you. But hopefully you enjoy the song and the reading. It's a nice song. Maybe come back after you listen multiple times. Maybe the messages you receive change. Hopefully you enjoyed this mini reading, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Take care. Hi, Pile 7, and welcome to your reading. If you chose this card, this is going to be your theme song, your EDM theme song. And again, you could find this song in the playlist in the descriptions tab. And the song that you'll be looking for is Run. Yes. Run. This is with Ilya and Bluestone. I think it's a remix. No, it's the original. And I'll show you the card that you chose as well. Which is Order of Melchizedek, Embraced by Light, Mission Uncovered, Don't Give Up. So, go ahead and listen to the song, and yeah. And once you've heard it, I mean, you'll notice that the song starts straight away. It almost feels as though, like, you're listening to something that had already started. So that's kind of your energy right now, is that you've been working on something, you have momentum, and you can see the light here. It's a pillar, it's a lot of wisdom, Melchizedek. I'm not too familiar with who that is, although I've heard the name before, certainly. I haven't actually read the book. I wanted to use these cards intuitively for this reading, and then maybe dive into the book in future readings. But there's a great pillar of light, lots of mountains, lots of wisdom. You've been working on something, and this song feels like that rhythm, that momentum, that pushing forward. And the lyrics really kind of show that, although, I mean, the first line is like, I don't want to hurt you, but I think this is the best I can do. You're not allowing people to get in your way in any sort of way. It could have been something that you're maybe letting go of a cycle, like a specifically relationship cycle of attracting a certain type of partner. Maybe letting someone go, or just maybe not being in a place to be with friends or in relationships. Like you have a very strong goal, or you just have a lot of that energy, and it's like your priority is creating something and sharing something with the purple again, with wisdom, and there's just a lot of energy. You have a lot of energy. But it's an upbeat song, and I think that's just your momentum. You have, and that's your energy. That's the description. It's pulsating. It's like a trance, and it's very focused. You have a very focused, feel about you. And this one wanted to come up. Just looking at Tara, we have the Hanged Man. I think so. This came after a period of being still, of observing, of kind of analyzing and reflecting upon yourself. And that light is what's pushing you forward. Now you know where to go. I think that's part of the reason why it almost, in a way, feels like, well, the name of the song is Run, and the first thing that you hear is like doom doom, like it just picks up. It feels as though a race started and you're ready. You've been waiting at the finish line for a while, and it's time to go because you know where to go now. Knight of Cups, there's that movement. It's driven by the heart center. I think that's why you have so much passion for this, so much desire, and you, again, not really letting people get in the way. there is water in this card. So that water energy is there. It's not to say you're disconnected. And I think that's probably why there's like almost an apology being done by the writer in the lyrics. Like, this is, don't think, don't want to hurt you. This is the best I can do. Like, please don't watch me run. And it's like you're understanding and compassionate. Look, Queen of Cups as well. For some of you, it might have to do, again, with the relationship that you're realizing yourself to be not at the same place as a partner or a friend, and you're moving away. But for others, it's kind of an evolving of your emotional drive that's pushing you forward, and you're taking action on it. That's the big thing, that instead of daydreaming, you're actually moving, and this is the work that you're going to put in with the Eight of Pentacles. I think that's the biggest thing, is a knowing. You finally have an idea as to what you want, maybe or maybe not, how to go about getting that, making that happen, but it's very powerful, and the reason why you're so inspired is because it's channeled by spirit, that it's channeled by your guides, your heart center. It's on fire, so you have a lot of momentum. Go ahead, listen to the song, maybe multiple times when you're actually running or in a car doing something. Maybe watch the reading again afterwards, or after multiple viewings. See how maybe the meanings have changed, and just the feeling you get when you hear it, how it changes, because it's a reflection of your energy. It's your theme song. So of course you can choose multiple cards, and hopefully enjoy this reading. It's supposed to be fairly short. I hope to see you in the next reading. Like and subscribe, and yeah, take care. High Pile 8, if you chose this card, this is going to be your EDM theme song. The song you have is Stranger to Your Love. You could find this song in the description, in the playlist that I have. And yeah, just check this out. Give it a listen. Give it a second listen after the reading. Maybe when you're running. I keep saying when you're running, doing some sort of exercise or some sort of work. I think having it in the background, sort of like when you listen to a meditation and it says to visualize. Oftentimes, at least I don't actually put forth the effort in visualizing all the things, like the light and the orbs and stuff like that. I just kind of listen and breathe and allow my subconscious to do that sort of thing, and the effect is sort of the same. And I think part of this is recognizing the wisdom of your subconscious. I think that's part of what this light is. It's a portal of understanding within yourself. It's like it's kind of falling back into love with yourself in a way, because this song is a love song. A lot of these are, and it could be interpreted in a few different ways. So maybe you went through a sort of breakup or letting go. Someone just let you go. Might have seemed sudden, but you could kind of see the signs in retrospect with clarity and objectively, because sometimes the emotions can cloud the perception, or there's a denial. And I think not only through that experience, but for some of you, that's just the energy you give off to others, is that clarity, that sort of honest view of what's actually happening, and how maybe through endings specifically, when things end, it's always an opportunity for something new that's more aligned with you or other people to come through. Yeah, because the song is saying, like, stranger to your love. It could be love, and recognizing when love isn't there. That might again be your situation, but that could also be something that you give to others, that you kind of show them what love should be, and when people are in situations that aren't guided by love, there's a truth to you, there's a strength. I think that's the power with the number 8 too, is being honest and being upfront. And some people don't want to hear it, but in the end of the day, they'll be grateful. We have third eye activation. Yeah, that clear knowing. It says the brow chakra, inner vision, and clear seeing. Yeah. Clear seeing. You are clarity in a lot of ways. And again, if you've gone through this, I don't know why I giggled. Well, I guess because I've gone through that, keep telling yourself that, no, this is going to work, or no, they could change, or no, maybe the job can change, the family can change, whatever the case is. Like, there's so much hope for, and that happens when you see life in a way where you kind of see people for their potential. You see them as their higher selves as opposed to who they are in this moment. And that honesty, that level of honesty that you could have with yourself it causes you or others to move, to cut those cords. And at the same time, that gives you freedom and the opportunity to go towards the light, towards those who are more in alignment with you and are truly what love, real love. Let's see what the tarot has to say to clarify this card. This could also be, for some of you, an awakening, psychic awakening. We have 8 of Wands, 2 eights. So there's also that expression, that communication, but movement. More so than anything, it's a movement. When the love stops, and I keep saying love, but it is a love song, let's be honest. But when you recognize you're not getting what you deserve, when you're in this energy, and it's a good time to cut things off. And so for people who encounter you, you feel like the opportunity, you feel like a new beginning for others, or at least you kind of guide others to their doorway. So you're, in a lot of ways, you're like a spirit guide. Okay, I guess, right? We have the Lovers here, so there's a strong indication of relationship in this reading. So if you're not in a relationship or interested, maybe consider reflecting upon past relationships, because that energy could still be within you, and that is to say, to close that door so that a new one can open. There's like a lingering energy there. We have the sun too, so lots of this sun. There's 2 suns here of what real connection, what real compatibility feels like, and what it does. It's a union, and the energies merge, and it's creation ultimately. Like these 2 things create something brand new. So I think maybe that's just something that you inspire upon others as well, guide people towards love. With the 7 of Swords, which is that deception, which is a dishonesty, and that's I don't know. You probably have gone through a lot of this from others and from yourself, where just a negligence of a denial, I guess that's a better word, of the reality that's in front of you. Because this could be a daydreaming card. This kind of reminds me of like all the water signs, pretty much. You could be, or other people could be, busy daydreaming of what can be as opposed to what is. And if you want to make the daydream into reality, that takes action. And also a keen eye, like an honest observation of the situation, so that you could have the power and confidence to move forward. And that's really your energy. That's why this is your theme song. It's the light of truth, I would say. So hopefully you enjoy this. It's a mini reading. Give this song another listen, kind of spend some time with it, and maybe come back here or choose another pile if you're drawn to do so. But I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and welcome, by the way. And hope to see you in the next reading. Take care. Hi, pile number 9. If you chose this card, this is going to be your reading. Your song is Respirando. It's a remix edition, and it's really the only song in here that isn't, I don't think it's really EDM, but it's kind of It's like, is it Diplo? I don't know. It's a really cool it's a really cool song. So give that a listen. Check it out. It's going to be in the description box in the playlist where you could find all of these songs, and the one you'll be looking for is Respirando. So it's very upbeat, but there is like hip hop as well incorporated into the song, and what's being said, because it's in Spanish, what the woman is saying, if you don't know, she's saying, listen to the city breathing, or listening to the breath of the city. And the part where there's kind of rapping in this song is about really the dishonesty about seeing the truth about society, I guess, as a whole. All the dark crevices, all the lying, and the prices going up, and something like that. But so there's two things from the song itself. First of all, that mix is like two different genres, and there's this hustle and bustle that you get from listening to the sound of the city. Like there's movement, but when you slow it down, you realize that there's corruption and things of that nature. But at the same time, you could also see it as while that corruption exists, while you are aware of it, it's not really your focus. You could still enjoy life despite some unfairness that happens. You still have your purpose and your joy and your movement, your goals, despite wars going on, the economy not being at the best place it can be, and things like that. Like, even though there's injustice, you focus on the light. You're aware of it. You recognize the shadows exist and you accept them. But what many people tend to do is they just talk about everything that's wrong with the world. Isn't it bad? Isn't this terrible? Isn't this... And it just kind of... You're feeding that energy. You don't do that. And that's why I think you chose this song, really. And also, you have a good taste in music. Because it's cool. It's a cool song. So we have Hathor light codes, light immersion, full system upgrade, power recall. I haven't read the book, and I'm not going to read it for this reading. This almost looks like a fairy in a way. A lot of wisdom here. Full system upgrade. I think it's through this experience of just witnessing so much hardship, you might have an appreciation for your own transformation. But also with the power recall, it's kind of reminding me with the lyrics. You're taking the power back, but even though there's injustice and systems that are designed to make things more difficult, to create the illusion of, I don't know, there's this authoritarian, illusion where there's people above you who control everything, and I don't know, your power comes from you. You know that despite all of this, you ultimately create your own reality, and that's stepping into that right now, especially with the third eye, with the mind. All is the mind is the all, that sort of thing. Let's kind of look at the tarot and get some more information as to why this is your theme song. Eight of Wands, maybe expressing and sharing, and there's a lot of light in these cards, but you being the light to reveal those injustices, those unfairness, the crimes and things that are going on, but at the same time being uplifting. Part of the change is you and what you've seen. See, why is this the High Priestess? Oh, cool. I get these pillars there's pillars here. I don't know if you could see them. Those pillars. It's incredibly intuitive. And again, you have a lot to share. have a lot to share about where you came from. And as you move out of that, or even if this is in the distant past or something like that, there's a story, there's sharing to be had. And I think part of the secrets with the pomegranate is the truth of how other people live, why they live that way, the influences that the media, the news, and all this can have on people, and what it takes to move away from that. There's a lot of experience, again, a lot of perception, a lot of awakening that you want to spread. Ace of Swords, that's the opportunity to I mean, not only are you channeling that energy from Kether, but you're sharing it, you're bringing it down, and taking what's hidden and bringing it to light and sharing it, writing. So you probably want to do a blog, writing, something along those lines. Again, there's a couple cards here that indicate a desire to share a story, to tell a story, to write, but specifically write, I think. Either poetry or we have the moon too. Yeah, look at all this hidden energy. There's a lot of secrets within the song itself. Even if you don't know Spanish, you could probably miss that part where the woman is saying, listen to this, the city breathing. And it's an uncovering, and I think the delivery of this information is where you will actually shine, because it's underneath the lines, between the words, in the spaces of what you have to say. But yeah, very powerful connection to the moon, very powerful connection to, honestly, like the stars and star beings, and I think you get that bird's eye view of the city, like the moon that's rising over the metropolis, that sort of thing. It was like, you are that moon that sees all. Who's on top of this? That's you. So hope you enjoyed this reading. It was supposed to be quick, and go ahead and like, subscribe, share, do all that fun stuff. If you're interested in seeing any of the other cards, of course, you can choose more than one, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care. Pile 10, if you chose this card, this is going to be your theme song, your EDM theme song. And the song that you have is Sun and Moon. This is a remix of a song by Above and Beyond, which actually I found out maybe 4 out of the 12 songs are from Above and Beyond. Whoops. So anyway, you could find this song in the description in the playlist. Just look for Sun and Moon and give it a listen, maybe multiple times, so that you could, tap into energies. Because that's the essence of trance. Like, a lot of times you're focused on something else and it's in the background, or you're just dancing, and there's a distance between you and the song. I'd say that with this one in particular, because this one is a lot of, like a handful of these have been already love songs, and particularly breakup songs. Even though it's upbeat and electronic and lots of movement, there's still that actually comes from the heartbreak. This is like a lot of times something that happens after the Three of Swords, or something that the Three of Swords causes is an expansion of the heart. It's kind of like when the swords are pulled out, kind of like when muscle fibers tear. That's when you grow muscle. It's through the repair that the strength comes in. This song says, it's raining, it's pouring, a black sky is falling. There's that description of sadness that comes from a breakup. You gave me your answer, goodbye, now I'm all on my own tonight. This could also be an energy you've given off to others. And if you're drawn to multiple cards, you can kind of connect the dots as to why you've done that. But that might be something that others don't perceive. But anyway, it says, when the big wheel starts to spin, you can never know the odds. If you don't play, you'll never win. I think that one kind of stands out. That's just to the motion of things. And we see the pillars here of the High Priestess. And a view of the stars, constellation, and shapes. Like most of these songs that have to do with heartbreak, they're still dancing. Like, you just dance it off. You keep moving. You move forward. And again, if that's not something that applies to you, that could have to do with just some experiences in your life that have been very difficult. The sun and moon, experiencing both of those sides, the light and the dark. And again, there's the pillar, that duality. So you're well aware of the benefit, the purpose that this polarity has on your experience and the universe as a whole. And of course, the song is really catchy. So it says, halls of Amenti, initiation, secrets revealed, treasures uncovered, initiations. Very closely related to a few of these cards. So I keep saying, if you're interested in choosing multiple cards, I could definitely see a connection between them. But secrets revealed. It's kind of like, as the lyrics say, when the black sky is falling, that's actually where you gain understanding, is in that darkness. That's where the secrets are. And that experience is something that has helped transform you into someone who becomes the high priestess, becomes a keeper of secrets, through suffering, through limitation. Now that you're on top, you have a good view as to why all of the things that have happened did the way they did. Let's see. Yeah, the big thing is that sense of movement, though. The sense of continuing on and dancing it off, and still finding the joy through these situations, because as it happens, with the wisdom and experience, you begin to recognize the patterns. You could be in the darkness of really any night, just cut off from someone, or break up, or friends let you down, and say, in some way this experience is benefiting me. It's providing me with the wisdom. It's maybe you intuitively knew that something was wrong, and you ignored that, and now you're becoming more aware of your intuition to a point where you could see, like a Pisces would, you could see dishonesty and trust from a mile away. It's kind of like you could wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to meet someone who's going to look and seem charming, and they're not to be trusted whatsoever. Like, just in the morning, without even having met them. And it's kind of like that amount of clairvoyance, so far out in the future. That's kind of an ability you've earned. That's the initiation part. It wasn't handed to you. It was just through trial and error, through, again, that experience. And I think now you're on top. You're really in a place of authority in terms of seeing these things from a mile away. And you could also help others out as well, being a guide. Not necessarily telling other people what to do, but to tap into their own intuition and to trust it. Definitely the spiritual teacher pile, although many of these can be, but this one has gone into the darkness. So hopefully you enjoyed this reading. Give the song multiple listens. It's a great workout song or running song, like all these. And hopefully you enjoyed the reading. Like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care. 11, if you chose this card here, this is going to be your reading, and your song is Father Ocean. So go ahead and give that a listen. It's going to be in the playlist underneath the description, where all the other songs are, so check that out. With the number 11, there's an innate wisdom here. Father Ocean as well. Interesting they call it Father Ocean, right? But you can even hear it in the song itself. It feels very different than the other ones. but at least I should say most of the other ones, not all of them, where this is much more calm, and really it almost feels like The Hermit, where there's an introspection and there's a focus on being alone. In fact, the lyrics say, when we are alone, multiple times. Now I see your darkness holds the key. I close my eyes and begin to see. It's kind of cool. Well, I don't want to spoil it, never mind, but how there's a pattern in the cards. But the trance part of the song comes from, it's kind of like a metronome sound. So it's an 8-minute song. So it's kind of like the passage of time changes, kind of in the same way when you're at the beach, the waves crashing over and over can create a very easy trance. And it's through that trance, through that almost subliminal state of half asleep, half awake, that's where the wisdom comes in. It's where there's green. Not only wisdom, but healing as well. Let's see. Yeah, we have the Stargate heart. Heart opening, unlocking, generosity. I think that comes from your expansion. This kind of reminds me of the Emerald Tablets of Thoth. And part of me is saying, when you're alone, you could kind of reconnect with everything in a way, understand yourself in a way, and that creates empathy, that opens your heart, and that provides healing. This is a very calm pile, very introspective pile. It's like the darkness holds the key. Yeah, this is... If you chose the right song, I think you'd like it. And I don't think that's the case for all of these. Let's see, 7 of Wands. Interesting contrast to the energy of the song and the card itself of healing. This is kind of repelling, defending away energies that aren't aligned with this. We have green showing up with the 10 of Pentacles. It's connecting back to what feels good, connecting back to your heart, to you. This is that meditative card. This goes really well with the song and the Stargate heart, but more so the song itself. So you've been doing a lot of meditation, and you give off that energy of home to a lot of people. I could see you as the ocean that the song is talking about. Like, you're the ocean, and not everyone is allowed into your energy field. I feel like you've been very heavily protected by spirit guides, ancestors, but the people who are allowed in, wow. Like, you're a source of healing, inspiration, security. But not everyone's allowed in. It's kind of like there's an initiation to get to you specifically. And that's why it's so calm. And that's almost like why there's a gate too. So you might find that. You might find that you've lost a lot of friends. These people might have been people going away. And those who come to you really belong with you. Yeah. You got the devil. I'm making a mess. I think part of this is from having been chained in the wrong place. So you might be in a transition of there's like a new phase of your life going on. There's been a few of those cards here where you've recognized when people just want to be around you because of your energy, and there's been a recognition also of the value of who you are. That calm, people seek after people move to the beach. Everyone wants to go to the beach because of the peace that it brings. But when people disrespect the ocean and they litter and all this, it's kind of like, well, you don't deserve to be here. I think that's kind of what I'm getting from relationships with friendships that have almost abused your love and your compassion and peace of calm, peace of mind. So hopefully you enjoyed this reading. I know it was quick. Give this song another listen. You have a really peaceful, relaxing, wise energy. And hopefully you enjoyed this reading. Like, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. This card, this is going to be your reading. What is your EDM theme song? And before I get into it, if you were the person who sent me this deck, I actually did like a mini reading for you. So you could email me and I'll send it over. It was real quick, but spoiler alert. Anyway, your theme song is With Your Hope. This is a remix of a song by Above and Beyond. And you could find this song in the description box in the playlist that I made with all of these songs. And I'll say, this song has I keep saying cool, but I really like the intro to this. It's upbeat, it's sexy, it feels like the Queen of Wands, despite the song itself being, as you could imagine, heartbreak. There's been a couple of these songs already. I didn't realize how many of them there were, but this card is about clarity. This card is about speaking your truth, opening those portals, opening the gates, allowing the wisdom of your experience to pour through. That's been a theme as well in a few of these cards, is communication and expression. With your hope. As far as the lyrics go, actually the first line is connected to talk, and I'll show you. It says Temple of Truth, throat chakra, authenticity, self-expression. Because the chorus is, you're breaking my heart with your hope. So that could have been something you've experienced a lot with people friends, family, coworkers, things like that. People who are dishonest, and in a way that experience has shaped you into someone who has a lot to say, and you've been holding it back, and it's your time to speak up and share that, and you'll find that your words are very nourishing. There's a lot of, mostly nourishment and honesty, and this is an energy that's inside you, so it's kind of releasing that as well, and I think you'll find it really helpful. And since you're in this energy already, you're already embodying a very powerful throat chakra, a very powerful way of expressing yourself and your experience. And there's value, of course, in what you have to say, because I think you've listened to a lot. It's like the song is about being told something, and maybe there have been people who promise this land in the background. There's a lot of false hope, like the song suggests, but the melody, the rhythm, the beat of the song is very upbeat, and it's kind of like you've been pushing through the lies of others. 8 of Cups, moving over. There's that Saturn moving away. So that could again be an indication of you have, or you're not afraid to express your lack of satisfaction with relationships, with situations. That's that outpouring. You've been holding that back again, but that's not to say you're doing that now. That could just be an energy of your transformation, kind of like the song does. It has the intro, the middle, and then the outro, and the intro and outro are very different from the middle of the song, where those two parts are just that Queen of Wands. It's I know what I'm doing, and there's this kind of this attitude, but it's a cool attitude, you know. It's don't mess around. I know what's happening here, and I won't be afraid to tell you that it's not okay. And that comes with confidence. We have the water here too, so you're very connected to your emotions, and you're not afraid to let them guide you with the Seven of Wands. Pushing people away, and this card's shown up a few times, so really expressing frustrations. We have Three of Wands, so there's that water opening, expectations that things will change, but it could also be that you might have been waiting for this person to change. You might have been waiting for things to shift, and it hasn't happened, and that's kind of what's led you to really outpour all of this frustration. It's like you want to stand up and shout, and there's that Ace of Swords again showing up. This desire to express the letdown from waiting for so long and never receiving anything, from even pushing off opportunities from other people because you're loyal to this, not even a person, a job or something like that. There was a loyalty that didn't really lead to, you know, what you wanted. But the benefit of this is that you have a story, you have something to share, and I think through creative expression of this, you not only move away from these lies, but you move towards what you deserve, what you want. So hopefully you enjoyed this reading. Like, subscribe, let me know how I did, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.